Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Media Picker. My name is Brandon. If you're new here, this channel is about anything related to reselling of media online for a profit, CDs, DVDs, cassette tapes, stuff like that. If it's something you're interested in learning about, join me on my journey. Consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. I have a story for you. This is being recorded. Normally, I put myself out months in advance. This video is going to come out a day or two outside of me recording this. It's being recorded on January 28th, 2025. Video will probably go out January 29th or January 30th, depending on when I can just put little finishing touches on it. Anyway, got my first negative feedback on eBay. It was removed. I'll explain how accidentally that happened. It's technically my second negative feedback. The first one I got a few years ago from a lady who bought a DVD, I think it was a Dora DVD of all things. And literally her feedback was negative and said the word nothing. That was it. And when you look at her history, she did that for about 20 sellers before me also. So anyway, they removed that. This one I did not think they were going to move. First of all, it was my mistake. So I'm going to show you kind of everything that happened with it. And Grant, this started at 5 this morning with me. This guy was starting way before that. I'll go into it. I have notifications on from eBay sending my email. So anytime eBay does something, I get a freaking notification. I got to turn that shit off because that's way too much stuff flying in my email. Plus, every time I do a listing that pops in there, your stuff's been listed. Yeah, I got to stop that. Anyway, I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you what it is. It's actually just 3 cassette tapes. One cassette is the exact same in the other listing. So I grabbed that by accident. Honest mistake. Sellers make a mistake. We're all human. But this buyer went total ape shit on me. Had he not gone ape shit, I would have refunded him his original purchase, which I did. I would have then sent him the correct stuff at no additional charge. So he would have got 2 sets of cassettes. No problem. It would have been great feedback. Obviously, he screwed me in the way he was talking and the way he was acting. Absolutely ridiculous. I got eBay involved, and that's some funny stuff along there. But let's start with the beginning here. Let me share my screen, and we will go from there. So this is it. $7.18 plus ship. It wasn't that. I took a lowball offer actually from this guy for $5 plus ship. I barely made anything on this. However, what happened is I did not ship him these 3 cassettes. I want to say this one was correct and these 2 were wrong. Or these 2 were the ones that were missing. There was 3 Whitesnake cassettes. This one was a different one, and then this is Vanderberg, who also was part of Whitesnake on some of the albums. So that's why I thought the slot was pretty good. So anyway, he did not get this. He got 3 He got this one in the middle here, and then 2 other Whitesnake cassettes. So he then goes ape shit. First of all, this was for a total of $9.87 was the refund. Okay, keep that in mind also as we go through this, as I start to go through his chat. So going through his chat, and let me make sure I am at the very beginning. I am not. Okay. So these are like West Coast time. So he sends this basically starting at midnight, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. This started at midnight. Okay. Let me share the screen. We'll start going through the chat. I will tell you the seller's username because that's not considered private information. So you're not going to have his first name. You can probably look up some stuff with his username. But anyway, let's start. Okay. So here's the chat. Started at basically, this is, again, West Coast time. I'm in Central. So this is 12:14 a.m. on the 28th is when this whole thing started on my end. You sent me the wrong tapes. Only one was right. Question mark. Not cool. So he takes a picture of what I sent him, which that's what I sent him. This one's correct. These 2 are wrong. I'm human. Shit happens. I was expecting the negative feedback to stay. Honestly, once I noticed he left me a negative, that was fine. But eBay removed it. I'll explain why. It's kind of funny. He goes, "Come on, dude. Vandenberg and Trouble," which are the ones that he was supposed to get. He goes, "You want a music store, right? Question mark. How hard can question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm in the music industry. I know right away when someone sends me a different tape. I'm just going to contact eBay Get my refund. Not cool. Trick me. I am the wrong person. You should pay. Ship it back. I shouldn't pay to ship it back, which I don't. He doesn't. I have returns, so he wouldn't have had to pay to ship it back anyway. You're totally wrong. I was wrong. I admitted that. Perfectly admitted that. I'm human. Shit happens. I know a lot of people in the industry. Okay, congratulations. I will contact the right people, Brandon. Trust me. Okay. Stars, 0. So that's probably when he left me the negative feedback. Of course, I did not notice this when I woke up at 5 this morning, seeing my phone like blow up with stuff. And I'm like, okay, I probably need to look at this because this is kind of crazy. He goes, I love IL. I want a refund and we're cool. Question mark. Again, I'm sleeping during this whole time he's sending these messages. I'm sleeping. I work a day job. eBay's not my entire life at this point. So then now we're getting, this is 4:07. I'm still sleeping. You should send me a refund before I contact eBay. I have the original listing. I will wait a bit on. Yeah, obviously sent me the negative. And this is where I finally jump in. And this is 3:03, which is 5:03 a.m. my time. I want a refund. You know what you've done. I apologize. It's an honest mistake. I'm human. I will have eBay refund you. Thanks. 1177 and we're cool. Again, going back, there's no 1177 in any way, shape, or form. The total refund is 987, which is shipping, tax, and subtotal. No 1177 in any way, shape, or form on this. He goes, I know it's a simple mistake, but cassettes are totally different. Well, one was the same, which is probably the first one I saw that they were bundled up together. So I grabbed that one. Again, I made this mistake. I'm owning it. I know it's totally different. Okay, so I had to contact eBay and they're closing this. I had to contact eBay and they're closing this guy's account. So he's telling me about he had somebody else's account closed, which could have been a piss poor seller or whatever. He's like, I bought 11 White Snake albums and he sent me all different ones, different bands. He goes, just tired of everything on eBay. So I'm dealing with a bad illness. The White Snake albums cause at certain ones. Help me, I guess. So I said, I get it. They're bad sellers. I'm not one of them. You left me my first negative feedback I've ever had. Technically second, but anyway. He's like, I would buy stuff on eBay ? Why would I buy stuff on eBay ? When they don't send me the right ones? You can understand. You are the third person. In other words, I'm the third person that's done this to him. Credit my account and I will take off the negative. Keep that in mind also. When you send something else, you don't know because that tapes, and he's just making nonsense sometimes. He goes, before I got sick, I played for a rock band. Very well known. I Googled his name, nothing pops up. Not part of any band, any way, shape, or form. Anyway, I don't get you have a music store online and you send the wrong tapes. It happens. It happens. He goes, man, if you had a second before you shipped them out, you would know. You're not the only first person to do this to me on eBay. You're number 3. Again, I haven't had a chance to even, I'm like tired to type and he's still sending me stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to wait till he's almost done typing his stuff out and then I'll respond. The other 2 top sellers sent me wrong albums. I contacted eBay. I'm sure they won't have an account, which technically is not true. Just, again, mistakes happen. You can't just get an account closed on one thing unless you're blatantly, obviously, like circumventing the eBay rules and terms of service and all this and that. Then yeah, that can happen. But as an established seller for 20 years doing this part time, or established buyer for 20 years, and a part time seller for the last like 4, that's probably not going to happen, obviously. So anyway, he's like, I always buy stuff on Amazon. They have a better policy, but I buy stuff on eBay. It's wrong. It's not what I bought. It's bad business, brother. I'm in the music industry. Not cool. So many sellers lie on eBay. Pace. I think he means peace. He says that a few times also. I said, again, I'm sorry, I'm human. I said, I had a rough time recently. I said, I just lost my father battle, a severe stroke for 6 months, and it hasn't been fun over here. I said, I made an honest mistake. I'm sorry. He goes, I was in the music stream for a famous rock band, which he wasn't. I have stage 4 Parkinson's disease. Okay. I feel bad for that. But that way I don't play anymore. I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Peace, brother. I said, again, sorry, I pulled the first White Snake one I saw. I'm human. People do make mistakes. I just wanted those 2 tapes. I didn't have them. And the other 2 you sent me. Again, sorry. Peace, brother. And then he's like, does like the little metal signs at 100. My guess is that's when he realized the refund came back through. And I guess he was okay with it. So all those messages back and forth. This is what it looks like in my email. Started at 12:14. As you can see, yeah, this guy just went complete ape shit. And I think this last one here, it says 26 is the whole, basically whole thing going back and forth. But my God, dude, and this is where the refund came through. And of course, you've refunded the buyer. Here's the breakdown: 959 total refunded. That's it. That's all I got. Not 1177. I don't know where you got that number from. Maybe it's from the other guy that he supposedly sent wrong stuff. I don't know. So him kind of saying that stuff about closing people's accounts and all and contacting eBay, knowing people. Could he possibly know people? Could somebody possibly close my account? It's possible. Chances are pretty slim in this case for a one-off mistake that obviously I was going to rectify as much as I could. And again, if he had not been a douchebag going back and forth with all this, I would have shipped him the correct cassettes on my dime in addition to the ones he could have kept. He wouldn't have to even send them back to me. But I didn't in this case because of the way he acted. So since I had those cassettes still, I relisted it. And guess what? I blocked him, so he can't buy them if he wants to. Anyway, so I had eBay on Facebook looking this. So if you're unfamiliar with eBay and Facebook, it used to be eBay for Business, and they just went to eBay. You can message them and give them a little bit of information regarding your store, blah, blah, blah. And then they can, I'm going to get over part of this so you can't see. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so anyway, I just want to line up the Facebook thing when I share the screen in a second. Well, I'll show this one real quick. This is the message I got from actually, we'll go to messaging first. This makes a little more sense if I do it this way. Facebook message. So the order number, blah, blah, blah. I said, this is my name here, blah, 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 blah. I said, this is the message I sent them. I said, associated comes with it. I said, actually, I sent the guy the wrong cassette tapes. And before I could do anything to make it right, he left negative feedback. I said, the buyer's been refunded in full. They mentioned refunding them 1133 or 77, whatever it is. And they would be cool. And then we remove the negative. I said, they didn't pay me 1133. They only paid me 959 from what I can see, and I can't refund them anymore. Not sure if the negative can be removed or not. Also, another thing that concerns me is that the buyer was threatening contacting eBay and threatening that they have contacts that basically close accounts. I said, I'm assuming they're not going to be able to close my account for an honest mistake. Please review and let me know what can be done, if anything, and let me know if my account is still fine. The main thing I was concerned about was the account. If the feedback can be removed, great. I was thinking 0 chance. However, here's their response. Thanks for messaging eBay. We never asked for any personal information. This is the automated thing. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I gave him the okay. Click the link. Okay. So I just want to, I sent this a couple things too. I said, I just want to make sure nothing happens in my account over this. I put done for me saying that they can access. So the buyer's still messaging me. I think I'm about done responding to them though. So this is what he said. He goes, thank you. As the buyer agreed to move the feedback if they were refunded, I have been able to remove it for you. So I am back to 100% as we speak. It was removed within like an hour. Will disappear from your account within the next couple hours. You don't have to respond to them anymore if you don't wish to. Do you know how to block buyers? Yes, I do. I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to block buyers. So he'll be going on there shortly. I said, I'm assuming he can't push to get my account closed and everything is fine. He goes, I can assure you, no matter how famous he says he is, he cannot get your account closed. I'm like, okay, appreciate it. So the feedback's removed in the next few hours. If for some reason it's still there, I can just message you again. He's like, it won't be there in a few hours. I've removed it, but if you have any issues, you can come back here. I said, thanks, appreciate your help. I'm gonna go back to bed now before I start working my day job. And then I gave him amazing feedback. But so, long story short, after all that, I was gonna own the negative. I was gonna send him the other cassettes, but because of the way he acted, he's now been blocked. Because what he said regarding the actual feedback being removed by refund, which I did, it got removed. So I am now back to 100% positive feedback, and he has been blocked and can't buy the cassettes that are currently backlisted on my store. So I got lucky here. I was expecting to own a negative, which would have been perfectly fine with. And again, if he was not a complete, like, just weird douche. I mean, I get it. He was upset he didn't get the cassettes, but give me a chance to respond, dude. Think about what time it is. I'm sleeping. Think where I'm at. I'm in Illinois, and you're wherever you're at. I'm sleeping. So, anyway, I guess obviously if you're a seller and you make a mistake, own your mistake. I did, obviously. You can say how many times I said sorry in the chat back and forth. But I definitely, if you're unsure, if you get a negative feedback, maybe double check with eBay for Facebook just to see if there's any way it can possibly be removed. I mean, granted, a lot of times eBay's gotten less and less involved as far as that goes, and basically saying now more or less the buyer's opinions an opinion. But in this case, because of what he said regarding if he was refunded, he'd leave me positive feedback. eBay just went ahead and removed his negative feedback altogether. So that's all I got. That's just the way my day started. So it was a very interesting Tuesday morning on January 28th here. If you got anything out of this entertainment, anything, consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Click the bell for future notifications. Other videos just like this. Like button also does help me out. And it's been a long day. I will catch you guys in the next one.